Like many of us who grew up in the 1980s, we can still remember that shock news when we first heard that Pan Am Flight 103 has exploded over the small town of Lockerbie.
Rescue teams from all over Britain are heading for the scene of what looks to be Britain's worst air crash tonight. Just after 7 this evening, a jumbo jet crashed onto the town of Lockerbie in the Scottish borders.
There's a new drama on Sky called Lockerbie, A Search for Truth. But we heard the truth, didn't we? A guy got convicted for this awful terror attack, didn't he? Honestly, after watching this drama, I was in complete shock. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Carl. Today's video is my review for the Sky original drama called Lockerbie, A Search for Truth, which was directed by Otto Bathurst, who has directed such programmes such as The Winter's King, Halo and Peaky Blinders. Now before I get started, I must point out that this is based on true events, and I just want to say I feel so sorry for everybody involved in the Lockerbie terror attack. It was horrific events that took place. I want to mention a guy called Dr. Swire, who the drama focuses on, played by Colin Firth. The drama shows us the devastating impact of Dr. Swire's discovery of misinformation and cover-ups it had on him. Please press that subscribe button if you can for more drama reviews, and get involved in the comments. I would love to know for this video, what's your thoughts on Lockerbie, A Search for the Truth? And also, what's your memories on Lockerbie? I would love to hear. Thank you. You're all going to know the story for this one. The story focuses on a father's search for the truth. Pan Am Flight 103 takes off from Heathrow Airport on December the 21st, 1988. It explodes over the small town of Lockerbie 38 minutes after takeoff, killing 259 people on board and 11 people on the ground. Dr. Jim Swire loses his daughter Flora in this terror attack and seeks justice with his wife Jane.
Did you kill my daughter? Go and have the time of your life.
Bye, Dennis. See ya.
Hello? Are you sure? Are you completely sure? Pan Am 103. 270 people killed. Threat warnings were ignored. We have a right to know.
This is restricted. Where did you get it?
I just want answers, Minister.
You haven't stopped since she died.
I will never stop. Up until we know the answer to everything.
Suspects have been identified.
2 Libyan nationals.
Libya? I thought Iran did it.
We've gone through the whole case over and over. It's a lie.
This is how you cope.
I am not coping.
Gaddafi murders people.
Jim, tread carefully. You're no good to anyone dead.
You have 2 other children. I want to be around life, not death, every day.
Why is there so much secrecy around this? Your government knew. They all knew. I want to know who killed my daughter.
The aftermath of Lockerbie was shocking. It was complete destruction of this small town in Lockerbie. Now, back in 1988, I was a youngster, but I do recall Lockerbie very well. But I had no idea on the events that took place after this terror attack. Dr. Jim Swire has dedicated a good chunk of his life just trying to get to the truth and bring the people involved to justice. And you have to think about the things he's actually done. This drama shows us where he takes a fake bomb on a BA flight to the United States just to prove a point. Then he meets Libyan leader Colonel Gaddafi. risking his life. It's just complete dedication. And like I say, he spent most of his life trying to solve this case. When it's not really down to him, it should be the government or the police involved to try and solve this case, if you know what I mean. But here's, like I say, put a big chunk of his life in, kind of like Mr. Bates versus the post office. We need guys like this in the world to fight for justice. The press guy in this drama, I think, was called Murray. Now, he helped quite a lot with Dr. Jim Swire along the way. He was one of the first guys on the scene in Lockerbie, and what he witnessed was complete carnage. The drama focuses on the aftermath of Lockerbie. There was bodies found 3 miles away, lots of them too. The whole drama was so well respected and put together. If you add that to Colin Firth's brilliant acting, I was in floods of tears. Honestly, I really was. The bodies were stored in Lockerbie Ice Ring, which we did get to see. This was right before Christmas. Episode 1 starts off with a flashback to 2002. Then it flashes back again to 1988. The good thing about 1988 was I loved seeing all the old cars and all the old 80s things in these houses and villages that we saw. That was the good thing. Then it catches back up again at later episodes along the way. The drama also goes on to explain how there was 165 empty seats on board that 747. When you find out the reason why, again, shocking. I won't give anything away. I thought episode 1 and episode 2 flew at a nice steady pace, where episode 3 the pace slowed down slightly while we were in that courtroom. I did end up binging episode 3, 4 and 5, and episode 5 went really quickly. It did not seem like an hour long. This drama does contain real news footage from back in 1988, and this was cleverly mixed together with our characters on screen. It was like they were on screen back in 1988, but obviously they wasn't. The drama is also shot quite dark throughout each episode. There was some good use of some aerial shots used in Lockerbie, and I want to mention a particular scene which I did pick up on, which I liked. Dr. Jim Swire, he's having this meeting and he mentions the air disaster back in 1972. A BA Flight 548. It took off from Heathrow Airport, crashing into a field after takeoff, killing everybody on board. I actually remember my dad telling me that story back when I was a kid. I will mention the whole cast in this drama was superb. It was well respected to everybody involved in the Lockerbie terror attack. It was well put together, tells a good story. It will have you feeling shocked. It will have you feeling angry. It will also have you in floods of tears as well. It runs at a steady pace all the way through. I must point out that you do not have to remember or know about Lockerbie, the terror attack that blew up Pan Am Flight 103 over the small town of Lockerbie, Britain's worst air disaster. You don't have to know anything about that to watch this drama. Give it a go, see what you think. There's 5 episodes of Lockerbie, A Search for Truth. Each episode has a running time of 1 hour long, but at least you can fast forward the annoying ads. It's rated a 15 here in the UK. I give the Sky original drama Lockerbie, A Search for Truth 4 out of 5 popcorns. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my review of Lockerbie, A Search for the Truth. Hats off to Dr. Jim Swire. Honestly, it's hard dedication and it still goes on. Thank you so much for taking the time. Take care and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.